NFTs and cryptocurrency. Do they belong in our favorite video games? These are some of the things we're going to talk about in today's episode of Adventure with Roger. Thanks for being here. Please don't forget to drop a like on this video and remember to join me several times per week for more game-related content. I'd like to give a shout out to everyone helping support and grow this channel, either by subscribing for free or on Patreon for just $1.50 per month. Thank you so much. What's the first thing that comes to your mind nowadays when somebody says, have you checked out that new cryptocurrency MMORPG? Have you checked out that new game that's going to have crypto involved in it? I'll tell you what the first thing that comes to mind is, my mind, that's what a flaming pile of crap that game is going to be. If it ever manages to come out, the graphics on that game looks like it came from the early 1980s. What cryptocurrency are they going to use? Are they going to have their own blockchain? Are the players going to have an open marketplace, or are they going to be exchanging cryptocurrencies with their own crypto addresses? What kind of gas fees are there going to be inside the game? Are they going to be keeping a percentage of every exchange made? I mean, there's just a plethora, a lot of questions that I have for every crypto game out there. And to be honest with you, not a single one has come even 10% to completion on an actual cryptocurrency MMORPG or a cryptocurrency game for that matter. The ones that I have seen out there, there's nobody actually playing the games. They look like dog shit. A lot of them, whenever you have players designing their own homes or designing their own houses, they come out looking like a neon piñata from the middle of Mexico. Just something you would never want to actually see in a house that is worth hundreds of thousands of digital dollars, so to speak. Is there going to be some kind of mining involved and decryptization of code to earn currency within the game? I mean, there's just so many questions I would have for anybody that's saying to me, I'm going to be making a cryptocurrency game. Will there be staking involved? Will I be able to lock up my currency to help facilitate the network with staking? Will there be any kind of contracts between players for services rendered or anything like that? One of the main things that comes to mind when I hear that there's going to be some kind of cryptocurrency involved in a game is, how is it going to be pay to win? And let me ask you another question while I have you guys here. What's the one thing that we all hate more than anything when it comes to our favorite games and MMORPGs? If I had to name one or two things that I hated above everything else when it comes to gaming, it's going to have to be botting and pay to win. And I don't see how a game based around a cryptocurrency can't be 100% pay to win, and how it can't be third-party programs involved to help facilitate selling this crypto and having 20 people in a room in some third world country just farming this game all day long, making $5 a day for just farming this game so that these individuals can make a living in a third world country where they have really low living expenses. There's so many things that come to mind in so many of the worst areas of gaming. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Every low down, shady deal, nook and cranny of every MMORPG out there that's ever come out, all of the shadiness is immediately what I see happening when somebody says, I'm going to be making a crypto MMORPG. I just don't see any way around it. And the reason for that is because in real life, when we deal with cryptocurrency and NFTs, the blockchain is what regulates every single transaction that happens. And when you don't have that, I mean, the blockchain will exist, to get the crypto to then access the game if it's done properly. However, almost every single one of these new games that I see coming out is, number one, inventing their own currency, which is, I mean, whatever, right? I mean, what's to prevent one of the developers just dropping all the crypto, all the money that's given to the game into their own account, and then waiting like a year and then buying a ticket to Jamaica and taking all the money with them. There's so many things, underlying things, that I don't think people are thinking about when they invest in any kind of NFT. The only ones that I think are legit, in my opinion, right now in 2021 are the ones that already have like Ether, Ethereum, or one of the well-known cryptocurrencies already involved in their game. All the ones that are trying to make an MMO from scratch and on top of that come up with their own type of cryptocurrency, I think are 95% of them are legit scams. I know that sounds funny to say something is legit and a scam, but that's exactly what I mean. I think they're all scams, and if they actually do have good intentions behind the game, I don't think that they have the gumption to actually pull it off. I want you to think about what it took Amazon to make New World. I want you to think about the hype behind it, the hundreds of millions of dollars Amazon spent to make an MMORPG. And I want you to think about the actual game itself. Do some research on what everybody is saying about New World now that it's been out for a couple months, and all the problems that they're having with that MMORPG. And they had hundreds of millions of dollars to pull it off. Some of the best developers out there probably working for Amazon, and they don't have NFTs, they don't have cryptocurrency, and they don't have any of the headaches that come with it, and they are still struggling after investing hundreds of millions of dollars. The type of titanic undertaking that someone is trying to pull off when they say that they're making an NFT / crypto game is beyond many people's comprehension. And I just want to try to give everyone a heads up in the gaming community who's trying to get in on the ground level of one of these projects, because they really think that this could be the way that they could make their $1 million. Most of the people that invest in these games are 9-to-5ers, and what I mean by that is that they work very, very hard for their money. And it makes me a little bit sick to my stomach to think about people taking people's money that work very, very hard for it, and not even thinking about the titanic undertaking that they're actually trying to get involved in. Making an MMORPG is probably one of the hardest things anyone can do in the gaming genre, period. And I just don't want to see people get ripped off, honestly. Another thing that is interesting about having cryptocurrency inside of a game, any game for that matter, is what kind of market cap is there going to be? What kind of cap is there that was actually going to make the currency in the game actually worth something? Because all of the best cryptocurrencies out there all have a market cap of some kind, and that prevents people from basically printing free money, so to speak. And inside of a game, let's say, everyone has one account and they're not allowed to have more than one account. That would help. But that there's no way for them to actually regulate that. Everyone nowadays can get more than one IP. Everybody can get multiple different accounts with multiple different emails. And like I said, there can be 50 people sitting in one room in the middle of China or the US for that matter. It doesn't matter what country it is. And they can all be just farming the crap out of the currency in the game, making it less valuable for everybody else. Of course, they're not going to tell anyone they're doing this. How do you regulate that? There's so many questions. I could go on for hours and hours and hours. Let me know in the comments, guys, what some of the questions and concerns you guys have on what are the biggest questions and concerns you guys have on having crypto and NFTs inside of video games. And another question I think that I would want to consider is if cryptocurrency and wealth inside of a game equals power, and how powerful your character is, if that has anything to do with how rich your character is or something like that, or how powerful it can be, what are you going to do when a real whale comes around? And everybody knows that a whale is somebody that spends an ordinarily large amount of money on a video game, or anything for that matter, can be a whale, so to speak. How are you going to regulate that? Let's say, you know, the normal person inside of an MMORPG, let's say that they spend on average a $15 a month subscription fee, and they maybe have $50 extra they can throw into the game per month. And then of course they're going to be grinding some kind of currency in the game to raise the amount of wealth and standings that they have. What are you going to do when a player has an extra $1 million sitting around that they want to invest into a game? And how do you regulate that? Obviously that's good for the game itself and the developers, obviously, but is it good for the community as a whole to be able to just drop that amount of money on something? All these things need to be regulated in order to make it fair for people to actually have fun playing a game. If that's not the purpose of the game, and that's not why you're making a game, to let people have fun playing it and to regulate it so that it's fair for other people, then why are you making a video game and putting cryptocurrency in it? That is a main question that I would ask myself as a developer. Is it because you want to make millions of dollars and rip people off? Or is it actually because you want to make a fun game that's legitimate? I think a lot of these things are questions that need to be answered as we move into 2022 and the rest of this decade, and we see more and more of these cryptocurrency and NFTs happening within video games itself. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and fellow gamers, thanks for watching. Please check out the links in the description to my Discord, where you can talk to a lot of great gamers, my Patreon, where you can throw me a couple of dollars per month. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up for me. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit more serious in this video, but this is something that I've been thinking really heavily on for the past year or two, and I'm going to make some more videos on this topic, but I hope that this kind of helps get a lot of people's minds going more about this subject. I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Roger, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care of yourself, everybody.